Today we are focused on careless, reckless, and hazardous operations for the FAA Part 107 exam. This area is covered by several key regulations, and the test will absolutely check your understanding of them through scenario-based questions. Let's start with Section 107.23, which prohibits operating a small unmanned aircraft in a careless or reckless manner. The exam loves to test the nuance here. Careless operation might be a pilot who, through inattention, flies too close to a building. Reckless operation, however, implies a willful disregard for safety, like intentionally flying low over a crowded beach to show off. The key difference is intent. The exam might present a scenario and ask you to identify the nature of the violation. For example, if a remote pilot knowingly flies with a faulty battery over a busy street, that's reckless. If the battery fails unexpectedly during a normal flight, that would not be considered a careless act provided pre-flight checks were done. Section 107.23 also has a second critical component. It prohibits allowing an object to be dropped from a drone if it creates an undue hazard to persons or property. An exam question might describe an operation where promotional materials are being dropped over a crowd. This would be a clear violation because you cannot guarantee the safety of the people below. Now let's connect this to interacting with other aircraft, which brings in Sections 107.19 and 107.37. Section 107.19 states the remote pilot in command must not operate in a way that interferes with manned aircraft and must yield the right-of-way. Section 107.37 is even more direct. A small unmanned aircraft must yield the right-of-way to all other aircraft, airborne vehicles, and even launch and re-entry vehicles. The exam trap here is to make you think there are exceptions. There are none. It doesn't matter if it's a passenger jet, a helicopter, a hang glider, or a hot air balloon. The drone is always at the bottom of the hierarchy and must give way. Imagine a test question. You are operating your drone at 300 feet AGL when you observe a crop duster flying at a low altitude and heading in your direction. What is your responsibility? The only correct answer is to immediately give way and ensure you are well clear of the crop duster's path. You cannot pass over, under, or ahead of it unless you are well clear. A common point of confusion is thinking that if the other aircraft is flying unpredictably, your responsibility is somehow lessened. It is not. As the Remote PIC, the duty to see and avoid other aircraft and to yield right-of-way is absolute. Here's a mental shortcut to remember this hierarchy. Drones don't dominate. It's a simple phrase to remind you that your unmanned aircraft must yield to everything else in the sky, without exception. This concept is fundamental to safe integration into the national airspace system and is a guaranteed topic on your Part 107 exam. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.